this is Halloween, and if you love costumes and creating as much as I do, you may want to subscribe because I'm going to be showing you how to make some pretty awesome costumes without breaking the bank. Maybe even using some items you already have at home. In today's episode, we're going to be recreating none other than Miss Piggy, Jim Henson's gorgeous feminine pig. Let's get started. So I thought for the season of love, what better costume than Miss Piggy? As you know, she and Kermit had a thing going on. For anybody looking for something unique, but also stunning, you can do it sexy, you can do it traditional. She really has an outfit for all occasions. So she's literally the Dolly Parton of pigs. So this is what I got for Miss Piggy. What I remember from being a kid is my brother had this puppet of Miss Piggy and she was wearing a lavender gown. And the gown looked exactly like this dress I found at the thrift store the other day for $13. And look at this. It still has the tags on it. I mean, it was a brand new gown. And it has a little coverall for the shoulders, like a bolero that goes over the shoulders as well. 13 bucks, I got this. No one's ever worn it. It was brand new. It was a little wrinkled, so I went ahead and ironed it, probably just from being in the Goodwill bag, but I thought it was stunning. It reminded me so much of this puppet my brother had, and she is known to wear lavender quite often. I bought these lavender gloves. These are above the elbow length satin lavender gloves that I just purchased on eBay or something for like 7 bucks. I'm going to be wearing this wig. This is the same wig I had for the Barbie costume that I did. I already had the wig, so that was great. I already had a headband and we made ears to go on the headband. That was all stuff that I already had. Shoes I already had. Just some silver shoes here and this beautiful necklace, which I already had. So I paid like less than $20 for this whole costume, and it's going to be awesome. I did buy a pig nose, which I'll show you. I think I paid the most for that, but it was worth it. It is a foam latex pig nose, and we're going to go ahead and get started with our makeup. So we're doing Miss Piggy. I've always really loved Miss Piggy. Actually, like I was saying, when I was little, my brother had hand puppets, and he had a Miss Piggy hand puppet, and I used to always try and go into his room and get it because I loved it. She was so elegant, wearing the long lavender gown with the long lavender gloves, and you know, being a girl, I was drawn to the elegance of this puppet, and I used to always try and take it out of his bedroom. Getting started with Miss Piggy, we're going to start with our latex piece, which is the nose. Now, I purchased this latex piece online. The foam latex pieces are always kind of a hefty price, and because it looks professional when you put it on. Now, technically, Miss Piggy had kind of like a bigger, fatter nose, and they do make some that are like that online, but they don't look as good. You have a strap going across your face, and it's like a heavy plastic that you can't blend to make it look your own. The thing about these foam latex pieces is that you can blend it, and it looks like your skin. You just blend it right in with the liquid latex. After, of course, you glue it on with the spirit gum, and it looks like you have a pig nose. So I spent a little extra. I'll put that in the description down below. If you do want to purchase this nose, about how much I spent on it, I'll put that in there for you. Like I said, we'll get started with gluing on our nose. I'm going to put a fair amount of spirit gum. I've got like 3 things of spirit gum. They're all different brands and kinds. So any kind of spirit gum you have works. And we're gonna glue that on first before we do anything else, because we are a pig today. Now, if you'll notice, I did put in contact lenses. I do not have blue eyes. And I'm gonna say this every time. If you have sensitive eyes or an eye condition, you may want to speak to a doctor about wearing color lenses for costumes. If you don't want to go through all that, just don't do it, because it's not really worth it, and your costume's going to be just as good without it. I'm just a little over the top, personally. And never put these in your children's eyes. They're too young to be wearing contact lenses. Just don't use them for children. I would not recommend them for children. They may have an allergy, or it's just going to be hell trying to get contact lenses into a child's eyes, so don't do that. So let's get our nose on. I did cut too down below, so I'll have room to breathe. That's another great thing about these latex pieces, is that you can cut them if you want to. If you watched my Mrs. Doubtfire video, I cut that mask because I didn't like the way the forehead was. So I cut it completely off, blended the rest in with my face, used my own forehead, and it looked great. So you can kind of manipulate these however you want. Whereas if you have like a cheaper piece, you can't really do that. You're kind of stuck with what you have. So that's it. It's glued on there pretty good. Someone can punch me in the face. I hope not. But now that I've got that on, I'm gonna blend in these lines around it with some liquid latex, and then get that drying. I was smart this year, and for Christmas I just asked for gift cards to like Amazon, because I spend so much money, because I'm doing this all the time for you guys. I spend so much money on makeup, costume pieces, and wigs and stuff like that. Stuff that I can't make. It gets costly. So I was smart this year, and my family got me gift cards, so I pretty much used it right when I got them, and I bought all the makeup I need for the whole year. And I bought a new thing of liquid latex, I bought some more colors, and just whatever I needed for the characters I would be doing this year. And I'm so happy that I did that. Gonna save me a little bit of money. Gonna save me a lot of money, actually. So I'm just blending this in. It does dry quickly. You're gonna wanna try and get it on pretty quick. You can see there, it's already kind of sticking to my hands. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue down my eyebrows. Miss Piggy, her eyebrows are never showing. So I'm actually gonna be doing my makeup kind of up to here where my eyebrows are, and not having any eyebrows. And I'm probably gonna try to reshape my eyes a little bit to make them appear like they're bigger, more cartoon-like. I'm gonna wait for that to dry. While that's drying, I'm gonna go ahead and line my waterline with white liner. So I'll tell you a funny story about years ago. I was working for a food broker, and I used to call this lady Miss Piggy all the time. She was actually the HR person. She didn't know why I was calling her Miss Piggy. She had this huge wild hair, and she would always wear these little form-fitting suits like Miss Piggy would wear, you know, like very kind of sexy with this huge mane of hair, and just kind of the way she walked around, and she reminded me of Miss Piggy. Had nothing to do with her weight or anything. It was her demeanor. You know how when somebody reminds you of somebody, and it's not for the reasons that they would think? It was really very much that. And like I said, I love Miss Piggy. I think she's hilarious. I actually think she's very beautiful. And for a pig, she's not fat. So word gets around to this woman that I'd called her Miss Piggy, and she's all offended, thinking that I was calling her that because she was fat. I didn't think she was fat. She was probably about the size that I am now. Like, not fat, but definitely not skinny, you know, like curvy, and I'm overweight for what I should be, but I don't think I'm fat per se, but I shouldn't be as heavy as I am. It's kind of like, that's how she was, you know, she was over the weight she probably should be, but she wasn't fat. Anyway, when she found out, she was all hurt and offended because she thought that I thought she was fat, and that's why I was calling her that, but it had nothing to do with that at all. And I tried to explain that to her, but she didn't, like, of course she didn't believe me. But I have this knack for, I'm very, you know, because I love Halloween and dressing up so much, I'm very much into characters, TV characters, movie characters. I see people sometimes that I'm like, oh my God, you look like, and it's not necessarily a good thing all the time. Like 3 different occasions I was like, oh, you look like this, you should be this for Halloween, and people totally took me the wrong way. Like I told this one lady she looked like Angelica Houston, who I think when Angelica Houston did Morticia Addams, she was freaking gorgeous. Now just pull up on your phone right now, just do it. Google Angelica Houston on your phone and see what the first picture that pops up. I told this woman she looked like Angelica Houston when she played Morticia Addams. And I think she took offense because she looks up Angelica Houston, probably not even knowing who it was. And the first picture that pops up is this picture of Angelica Houston, like now, the way she looks, you know, because she's older, you know, so she's got, you know, double chin, and she's just fallen into her age. She's not one of the ones that get all the Botox pumped in, and she's more natural and, you know, whatever. I think this lady looked her up and was humiliated by my comment because I had told her, I said, you look like Angelica Houston. You should be Morticia Addams for Halloween one year. And oh well, like what can I do, you know? I thought she was beautiful. So I probably just shouldn't tell people they look like people anymore. Because to me, I think these people are great. And to other people, all they see is their physical features, and or maybe they didn't like them as a person, so they don't like the people saying they look like them, or just whatever. But I'm not trying to be mean. Miss Piggy was all eyes. She was all eyes. We're gonna do heavy emphasis on the eyes. She didn't wear lipstick. There was literally no lips. So, I mean, it's like a pig mouth, you know? It's just regular. I'm gonna put the foundation over my lips and everything. So now we're gonna do foundation. I might actually use this thing this time. I do have one of these things. I just use my hands all the time. But because we're going over latex and stuff, I think I'm gonna use this today. See how nicely that blends once it's put the latex on? I got some crumblies right there. I might just peel them off. I don't want to put too much of this around my eyes because I'm going to be making my eyes appear bigger. So I'm starting to blend all the makeup in, and it's looking pretty darn good. I had to redo a little of my latex. I went a little latex happy, but it's better now. So I went around the pig nose also with the foundation. Of course, you want your nose to blend in with your face. So now I'm just finishing up the foundation, and then we'll get started with our eyes. Once we're done with our eyes, we're done with our makeup because, like I said, she wears no lipstick. So I am going over my mouth with the foundation. If you have a concealer, you can carry a concealer with you throughout the night for lipstick. So any parts that I couldn't get to with my fingers, I just went in with my little Q-tip and some foundation. And I'm finishing this with a loose powder. This is just some air spun powder, and I'm finishing it with that. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. I've got this palette here. It's got some purples and some pinks and some very Miss Piggy looking colors in it. I'm going to go in with my lighter on my lid and then my darker purple all the way up to the brow. And when I say my lid, it's going to be bigger, a bigger lid, because we're talking Miss Piggy here. So we're going up a little higher than what our natural lid line would be, just like that. So there we go with our purple on our lid, and then we're going to do our darker purple. Oh yeah, that's perfect. I'm already starting to look like Miss Piggy, and when you're at this stage, so will you. Now her eyes kind of go down. I wanted to just outline kind of like how her eyes are. They're a little kind of droopy actually. I think I'm going to do that and fill in with the white pencil. Like that is what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to be filling in that inner part with white to make my eyes look bigger and more dramatic, more cartoony. I'm going to be using these crazy eyelashes, which I thought were very Very Miss Piggy. I might have to do a liquid liner on my top line. So just like with every time I do makeup, I have anything on my face like this, my nose runs. So you're gonna wanna maybe bring some Q-tips with you or something when you go out. If your nose does the same thing, that way you're not blowing your nose and messing up your makeup. Now I'm going in underneath, on top of the line we just drew, with a white liner. Now I'm just going over my eyelid with my liquid liner. My eyelash is gonna cover a lot of this mess. So that's kind of where we're going with that. I made a line, you know, just like if you were doing your cat eye, right on the upper lid. I'm gonna meet it with this sort of cat eye look over there, and it kind of creates a droopy sort of look to the eye. One thing I usually end up doing is a better job than I figured I would. Almost every time. There's been so many times while I've been doing costumes where I was like, this isn't gonna work. This is gonna look like crap. There's no way I can do this. I bit off more than I can chew. What am I doing? And I don't even think one of those times it turned out bad. I think every single time it turned out exactly the way I intended, and it looked great. You will too. It may not look so great right at this second, but when you finish, it's gonna look great. I promise. So we're just working on our eyes. Like I said, the eyes of Miss Piggy are her biggest asset. She never does wear lipstick. She has blush, but the eyes are what really, everything about Miss Piggy, it's all in the eyes. Let's see, let's just kind of get a prediction. I'm not putting my lashes on camera, but I just kind of want to see what I'm looking at here. So once we get these crazy lashes on, it's gonna look good. It's gonna look good. Cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna do my other eye. We're doing it just like this. What do you think? I'm gonna put on a pinky blush. It's just pink. Whatever pink you got will work. And I'm just putting it right here. Right there. Right there. Kind of in a dramatic sort of way. We gotta go meet our Kermit. I kind of look like Michael Jackson. All dressed and ready for photos. Let's go see my Kermit. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope you loved today's look. This is a classic Jim Henson number. I have not seen it done out in public very often. Actually, I've never seen it. Of course, a couple's costume would be naturally Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog. Or if you wanted to go as a group, you can be all the different Jim Henson Muppets. You can be Animal and Gonzo, and there's that one that looks like Nico from the Velvet Underground with no eyes. Literally her bangs go down over her eyes. That's it. You know, it's a great costume. I hope you enjoyed it. There's going to be many, many more, so I hope you have subscribed. Please remember to like, comment, and share, and I'll see you next time.